Hello friends and welcome back to a new cleaning for free. This time we're cleaning this severely damaged home from a middle-aged man. And if you ask what I mean by damaged, look at this lady who is walking right in front of the window. Can you see that big hole that is in the window over there? And this is a photo of his bedroom and there was literally no window at all, just curtains. So the plants from the garden were growing inside his bedroom. Some of the walls in this house were looking like this. You can see the concrete and it is almost as if this man had never maintained his house. It looked more like a shed than a real home. Let's call this man Jack. It was Jack's mentor that sent me a message over Instagram and she explained a little bit about Jack's situation, and she also explained that Jack had been in this same situation before and at that time he had to pay for the cleanup himself. So there was a company that came in and he had to pay all the costs. However, there was no one who mentored him after that cleanup, and so he had the same patterns and the same habits, and it turned out that he didn't really have the ability to care for himself and his environment. His neighbors were quite tolerant about the situation, but now and then he came in touch with the police. And the reason why Jack had not been evicted yet is because this isn't a rental property, he bought his home himself. You can see someone walking in the view quite randomly right now, and I do have to explain who this is, because this is Herman. Herman is following an education to become a documentary maker and he is going to make a documentary about me. It's not for national TV or something, it is just an assignment. He had to make a portrait about someone interesting and he thought that what I do is pretty interesting. He just asked if he could get the car keys so he could put his camera stuff in the car, and I was giving that to him. And after that I zipped my suit again and I thought that it worked, but apparently at this point my zipper broke already. Fortunately, I didn't have to do this cleaning just by myself. Anna and her mom Tina were with me and Marissa also showed up. You might know Anna from the video with the baby rats. I will link that video in the corner right here. And Tina is just as a trooper as her daughter is. I'm so amazed that she wanted to join. And Marissa is from Belgium and she wants to do these cleanup in her own country. And she wanted to experience how I do things. Cleaning up the first layer of trash is never as hard as the lower layers of trash. Here I am quite okay, but soon I will hit that corner on the right and I don't know what that was on the floor there. I think it was a mix of beer, ash and urine or something, cat urine maybe, and it was so bad. The smell was just horrible. And I really felt bad because Anna's mom had to throw up a couple of times because the smell was so bad under all that trash. Even Anna and I were struggling, and I am not so sensitive to smell. And later on we also found out that there were rotten eggs in the kitchen and we also could smell that from the living room, so maybe it was a mix of everything. At the beginning of this video I told you about the bedroom. Jack's bedroom has no window and so the plants are growing inside his home. Well, this was also the case with this balcony door. And I'm going to show you a close-up because it's kind of funny. These plants almost are like, okay, well, let's go into this house because it is so nice in here. So the plants are literally in the building. They just came from outside and look at this. That's kind of funny. I was a little bit shocked that someone would just leave the balcony door open all the time, because that had to be the case, because otherwise the plants wouldn't have grown in. And I was thinking about what Jack said, and he said that he was nurturing a stray cat. So I think that's the very reason why he left the door open all the time. That same stray cat actually was pregnant and she gave birth, and Jack told us that there were 5 little kittens sleeping that day in the closet in his bedroom. I was happy to hear that the mentor also knew about these kittens, and she said that she would make sure that these kittens would move as quickly as possible to a better place. There was a pile of clothes in that corner that was completely rotten and covered with mold. I think I could save 3 or 4 items that were still okay, such as this motor jacket, because I know that motor clothing is pretty expensive, so I just kept it, even though it wasn't really wearable anymore. There was also this iron silver thing that was on the floor, and it was really heavy and it looked like something from a motor, but me with my girl brain, I really didn't know what it was. So if someone is able to identify this object, please leave a comment. I wish I had the actual footage of this moment, but I really didn't take my camera because this was a rescue operation. Tina, Anna's mom, screamed because there was a spider and the spider had crawled up in her suit. And unfortunately, I could do nothing else than just kill the spider.
Maar ik weet niet of mijn gewoon sms wil sturen. Zie, ik heb nog iets standaard. But I think if you'd like to... Ik heb een klein drukje gevonden met allemaal kleine tietjes van gulden.
I just know that some of you have really missed the butt shots, and that's why I want to take a moment to appreciate this view. No, just kidding. I want to take a moment to appreciate the person who gave us super thanks on my previous video. Thank you so much, Gail Mac. You've given so many super thanks already, and I want to thank you for your generosity. It is really motivating. Thanks to all the extra support on buymeacoffee.com and by Super Thanks and by being members, we can afford to rent a container, and it was really necessary for this clean. And July 10 we have another clean that is also a big one, and we do need a container then as well. We will be needing another container of 10 cubic meters, and it costs 500 euros to rent one. So if you can afford it, you can go to buymeacoffee.com and you can buy a coffee for $5. And normally it stands for cleaning for free, but in this case it stands for a donation to be able to rent a container. You can find a link to the donation page in the description, and if you're Dutch, you can also find a link to steunactie.nl, which is the Dutch website. Right now we're scooping the very last pieces of trash from the living room, and after that we will start the real cleaning. Little did we know that there was a heater that was in between the trash, and the glass from that heater was completely broken, so it was a little bit of a hazard. You might notice that the glass is black, so I am thinking that there had been a fire in that heater and therefore the glass broke. And I see this in so many homes. These fire hazards, they really shock me. I get so sad knowing that these people are bringing themselves into danger.
Yes, baby.
Hout.
Koorts. Wil je die schep hebben?
Hier, dit. Wat denk je door? Mam, houd daar, dan kan ik het even naast leggen. Is die? Ja. Het valt nog mee.
Work it. Work it, baby.
Oh, niet weer een stelbeen. Ron, wat wil je met je haar vast? Waar wil ik dit haar? Waar is de zak? Hier is de zak. Je doet nog zo, heb je natuurlijk geen pakjes. Goed.
Pakjes voor wat?
Voor de maaien.
No, but I mean, some of the things on the table there I felt were weak.
Ja,
Een zakpakket gemaakt en dit is nu 2.
cool. Nou, ik zat veel bij de molen gedaan. Dat vond ik niet fout aanraden.
Oké.
Dat is eerder weer nog wel wat. Hoe heet deze?
Ja, dit is. Hoe noemt het? De online instituut heet Medications.
Oké.
Ja, dit is een beetje podcast. En dat wordt.
Oh, wat leuk. Wat voor podcast?
Ik maak nu een podcast met mezelf en een vriendin over ja, alles op het kruispunt van leven en geloven. Geloven in God. En daar ben ik een soort van platformje voor aan het maken. Ik ben gewoon mijn hele socials aan het uitbouwen. Ik ben
Oh, leuk.
er wel weer lol in, maar ik kan. Oké.
Iedereen nog levend?
Oh, dit is space. Ik kan deze gewoon weggooien. Ja, misschien wel. Oh, dat is wel goed. Ja, dat klaar is. En